Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Tia here. I am here to help you to remember who you are and make big, brave decisions in life and love. Today, we are doing another Trust Your Nudge reading. If you've landed on this, please stop and think about really what message you need to hear. And before you even do this, I want you to think about what topic or what you really want to address, because the whole idea is that if you've landed on this video and you go through the process of trusting your intuition to pick a number from 1 to 4, that is your message in regards to what you've been thinking about. So it can be career, it could be love, it could be purpose, it could be family. So I really want you to go ahead, think about that first. And then when you're done, really, saying, hey, I want to ask about my new job promotion, right? I want to ask if there's a job promotion, right? Then what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and in your mind's eye, pick a number from 1 to 4, okay? So the first number that really pops up to you, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? You're gonna go with that number. I'll give you about 5 seconds to choose it. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and do group number 1. So my guides and angels, I'm putting the intention here that whoever lands on group number 1, this video is for you. My guides and angels, any messages here for group number 1? Okay, you guys, I got the Strength card, I got the Emperor card, the 9 of Water, and 4 of Earth. Okay. Woo! So, if you chose group number 1, this is really talking about you not judging yourself so harshly around a situation that has been affecting you. I feel like those of you who chose this pile really are working through some work things. And this is also could be in relation to, if it's not work, it's almost like a bossy energy I feel here. So this is talking about who are you surrounding yourself with, work environment wise, or even relationship wise, that makes you feel like you question yourself, like you feel like you're not good enough. It's also saying there's somebody around you that feels like a dominant energy that may either intimidate you or put you down in some way. Again, really dependent on this. And the whole idea here is I get the 9 of Water, 4 of Earth. It's asking you to remember what actually makes you happy and to free yourself around this. When I get the 9 of Water, it's like your dreams coming true, you being on your own, you being happy. 4 of Earth is also saying like there's a part of you that is afraid to not do what's right for you based on possibly a financial situation, or if you do this, then maybe you're not being a good person or a charitable person. It's kind of saying like, where are you kind of giving up on yourself and kind of judging yourself harshly in order to accommodate this other person or other situation that is acting as a dominant force and actually not the best thing for you. So if you did pick this pile, this is asking you to reconsider what's actually you and what your actual environment is, this person or situation that's making you feel ultimately a little less than. So I really want you guys to think about this. The other thing is I just want to pull a little bit more clarity, guys. Any other messages here for group number 1? Knight of Water, the Dreamer, Ace of Earth. Okay, so this is honestly, I really feel like this is really dealing with more of career orientation, because when I get this card, it's saying like Knight of Water is like, before you make any decisions, make sure you balance out your emotions, you think about this clearly, you're not being reactive in the moment. And then it also is talking about getting emotional support as you navigate these waters. And then the Dreamer and Ace of Earth is like, part of this is going to be a leap of faith. Like you may have to leave this job or this situation without having anything to fall back on, but that this is part of the process and the learning for you is like trusting yourself, trusting your own like really gut feelings, not just your emotional ups and downs, but really in your gut, how does it feel for you to make a move or not? And Ace of Earth is saying, don't worry, you're going to have another opportunity to come in. I fell onto this pile are really navigating a possibility of a job situation that's really not as fulfilling and comforting based on somebody you work with. So be mindful of this. Just know that you don't have to stay around to be like a good person or a good employee. And for the sake of the team or something, you can actually go make the moves that you need to make, and really right around the corner, you're going to have a new opportunity anyway. Sometimes the universe is like waiting for us to decide. So I want you to be mindful of this. So if you picked group number 1, I wish you good luck. And again, balance your emotions and get clear for yourself. If you picked group number 2, this is for you, my number 2s. Guides and angels, any messages for those who chose number 2 today? Any messages here? Okay, 9 of air, the wheel card, the 3 of air, and the 8 of air. Oof. My group number 2s, it seems like you've been going through some anxiety and some stress. So when I get the 9 of air, it's almost like sleepless nights, like expecting the worst. This is like an indication of like, hey, the worst is not going to happen, and like the worst is actually also behind you. The wheel is also saying whatever cycle that just completed or pattern that you've been going through in your life, it's coming to an end. 3 of air is saying like it's okay to expect some sadness. This is for some of you who are going through like a pattern around like your own healing, around your own mental health, around you feeling, you know, kind of like in the funks of things, right? And it's kind of just saying a lot of this is, you know, you're trying to work through some things, and it's okay that there's some feelings that are coming up, but there's no reason for you to get into the space of nothing's ever going to get better. It's just going to repeat itself. It's kind of just saying that the cycle has ended, but now you have to deal with some of the sadness and the feelings that are coming up. 8 of air is saying like there's a part of you that wants to take a specific action, but you're kind of afraid to. Maybe you're lacking a little bit of confidence in yourself, things like that. Obviously take this as it resonates. But one thing I would say here is, because I did get so many air cards, it's really about you getting stuck in your head. So do something that maybe allows you to be more in your body, take a walk, dance, go ahead and just kind of create a space that you can come back to your inner being instead of you being so stuck in your head. Guides and angels, any more clarity around this for my group number 2 here? I got another, 8 of water, 7 of water, and the star. So for some of you, this is a time of emotional and spiritual growth, and that's probably, it's almost like your anxiety is a little bit of a messenger here. It's less about the stories or the thoughts you're having are real. It's more of like your soul maybe wanting to move forward and is growing and shifting, and there's some obvious things around you that need to kind of shift. 7 of water is saying there still needs to be a little bit more research, like take your time, feel things out, don't make any rash decisions. But the star, this is the right direction. If you are kind of staying stuck in something because you're thinking it's not going to get better and that the pattern is just going to repeat itself and, you know, it's never going to be okay, this is saying that no, you know, you need to allow yourself to evolve and move past this cycle and this pattern, this period of your life, because it's the right path for you is going to show up. When I get the star card, it means like, hey, like there's gonna be a happy outcome. You don't have to make this like such a negative thing. It's a lot of your mind making you feel like there's just no hope. So this is kind of just saying like, you know, take it easy, take, you know, a lot of self-care, be there for yourself, and do things that can get you back into your body, some grounding, some walking, even running, you know, even a little dancing, taking a shower. Physical well-being will be good for you because it'll get you out of your head. For those of you who chose group number 2, honestly, take care of yourselves and do what makes you feel like yourself again instead of you beating yourself up, right? I want you to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and of course, take what resonates and leave the rest, but make sure that you are just really taking care of yourself and allowing things to shift without you beating up yourself, okay? Kindness always, self-compassion always. Okay, that was for my group number 2. All right, so for my group number 3, for those of you who chose group number 3, this is for you. My guides and angels, any messages for those who chose group number 3? Any messages here? Queen of air, king of water, life experience, king of air. Okay, cool. So you guys, For those of you who picked group number 3, this has to do with a few different people here, right? For some of you, I see a little bit of a like situationship or something where you feel like you have to choose between two people, which is really an interesting reading, because Queen of Air is saying like you being able to look at things really practically and logically and actually realistically, but that there's a person that's a King of Water who's somebody who's intuitive, kind, loving, charitable, somebody who embodies a lot of compassion in your life. And then there's another person who is more of like a practical, logical, very smart, very inquisitive individual. And life experience is showing me like there's a part of you that needs to kind of take a leap of faith and figure out more of the person that you actually want to be with. Interestingly enough, for some of you that are in this, it's kind of showing you as the Queen of Air, somebody who's the practical person, and then the King of Air is kind of where you're meant to be going, although you're currently maybe with somebody who's more emotional, maybe, and this could also be somebody who's a little bit more stagnant in energy. Isn't as go-getter, isn't as like professional all the time, but is all like ultra compassionate, kind, caring. Is just a really good person. So this is maybe why you're having a hard time kind of really figuring out if you even want to leave him or be with somebody else. This could be a him or her, doesn't really matter. King of Air energy can be, again, king or queen, doesn't really matter. It's just like the energy being embodied. So this is kind of saying like, do you want to consider being with somebody else? Guys, any messages further for my group number 3 here? Oh, 10 of Air, it's calling it out. There's a part of you that is in a pattern where, you know, I don't know, it seems like the person you've been with has been a lot of emotional ups and downs. It's been, although they may be a good person, it doesn't feel like it's always in alignment. 10 of Air is saying you're having a hard time kind of splitting up, but in some way, you're kind of ready to break this pattern. It is going to take a little bit of a change and like a leap of faith in some way, but it's saying like, honestly, it's time for you to be brave and kind of be clear about what you actually want and like you feel fits the story and the narrative in your mind of what you desire ultimately. The spread is really interesting because it seems to be pretty specific. So if you landed on group number 3, again, it's really the situation with 2 different types of people and whether or not you want to pursue the past or really pursue something that is more in alignment with like who you are, and there's more compatibility, less differences. Guys, any other messages for group number 3? 6 of Earth is also talking about like you giving more of your time and energy to what you desire to give your time and energy to. This is like, you know, more opportunities, like even in the career or in the place of like what really lights you up and brings you joy and brings you abundance. So weirdly enough, this could even be like dealing with a relationship that maybe even affects like how much energy and time and even, you know, financial abundance you have. So it's one of those, the spread is so specific in some ways. So if you did land on this, obviously take what resonates and leave the rest, but this really feels like there's a part of you that needs to know if you want to give your energy to somebody anymore and if you want to change that. This is really asking where you want to put your time and energy, period. Because depending on who you're surrounded with, it makes all the difference for you. Again, take what resonates and leave the rest, but I hope that was helpful, group number 3. All right, my guides and angels, for those who land on group number 4, any messages they need to hear? Queen of Water, Page of Fire, 3 of Earth, and Awakening. All right, so for those of you who landed on this, Queen of Water energy is somebody who is intuitive, compassionate, kind-hearted, like really trying to go more into their intuition. Page of Fire is talking about you almost like kind of being curious about dabbling in something that really inspires you. 3 of Earth is saying you may want to do this not just by yourself, but with a group of people or a partner or a team. And Awakening is saying like you're going through some of this emotional, spiritual changes and realizing more of your interests, more what you're curious about, kind of wanting to put your hands in that pot and play and experiment and figure out if there's something more, but you also don't want to necessarily do it alone. And you're recognizing some of your own gifts and talents, and it could feel like, God, my life feels like it's changing, or I'm not exactly who I thought I was. This is a little bit of a spiritual identity shift that I'm seeing. So for those of you who landed on pile number 4, it's asking you like, hey, are you okay with accepting that you have curiosities and you have interests, and maybe some of them surprise you? It's okay. It's okay to pursue them and try them and see if you ultimately want to go through it. But it's not saying you have to make a decision. It's kind of just saying allow yourself to shift and grow. Guides and angels, any messages, any other messages about this for group number 4? 7 of air, 3 of fire, 3 of water. So again, 7 of air is saying like there may be things going on behind the scenes that you don't really know what's going on, but there's a part of you that feels like you can sense something's going on. This does have something to do with somebody else as well. I don't know if you feel like somebody's keeping something from you, or that you're able to intuitively sense people around you, and so you know when they're lying, or you know like, hey, there's something there. This is talking about you having really good instincts and a really good BS detector. So then I've got 3 of fire, which is saying like, again, like have patience, like you are growing into this. This also could be like you finding a mentor who could help you with your intuitive gifts. And then 3 of water is saying there are other people like you, and your soul family is really important. The people you surround yourself with is really important. So this is saying like, again, if you are curious and want to dive into passions and things that really inspire you and feed the Queen of Water energy, which is compassion, intuition, kindness, creativity even, this is something that you want to share along with some people and not just with yourself. So this is just a really interesting read for you guys. Honestly, if you got pile number 4, I wouldn't be surprised if you're super intuitive, if you're just waking up to intuitive gifts, if you are trusting more of your feelings and not just like always trying to be logical about everything, which may be a new thing for you. So again, if you pick pile number 4, yeah, you can continue to, you know, stay curious, read, contact people that interest you, follow your curiosities. Yeah, that was for you, pile number 4. All right, guys, I will see you next time. Get ready for next week's Trust Your Nudge, and I will see you then. If you love this, please like and subscribe. I'd love to see you back here again.